If I ever think of, like, what else I won't feel like playing right now, we can always switch games. I'm just back on my shit. Where's this go, Ultra? And just teleport to here. Peace. Oh gosh, even though I'm still close, I'm so close to being fully leveled on my mining and fully leveled on my botany. Let's see here. We got our new stuff. We have enough tomes. We're gonna go buy one more piece of equipment and then we can do the dungeon. Hello. Actually, do we have enough for... No, we don't. Okay. We can do earrings, probably. Those are 48. Yeah, okay. We'll do earrings. Boop. Look at that. 563. We are good to go on this dungeon. Let's repair all, please. Thank you. Oh, that's what I'm supposed to play next. Supposed to. Make up all these rules for myself. But I was going to, at one point, play Sherlock Holmes Chapter 1. I keep forgetting. Hello, Skilbert. Yes, thank you. Welcome. Yeah, just keep getting boarhide, that's fine. We're just doing it for the XP anyway, it's not the anything else. Okay, is there anything here I can give you to, like, make you a little bit better? Probably not. They're like a... Can I just, like... They really need for your retainers just a button to, like, give them the highest gear you have, recommended gear or whatever, just like they do for your main character. Because I don't want to sit here and go through looking at every single piece of gear. Or maybe they have it and I just don't know about it. Or let's sell... I think we should just sell that boarhide. 220, not bad. Not bad. That's actually pretty good monies. What else were we gonna sell? We're gonna sell these. Just need to make some room, honestly, so much. Whatever. We're good. I think you had some gil, mister. Hand me your gil. Give it me. Oops. That's not the right button. I don't know why I do that every time. Okay. Yeah, that all looks good. What is this? You already have that card? Did you already have that card? Oh, we did sell that and that. Sorry, why am I yawning? Because I'm always tired. So. Okay. And I think we are ready to go. And, hey, let's get in this duty. Let's screw. Hey, Brett, continuing my Mafia playthrough. How is it going? How are you liking that game? I want to say I played a tiny bit of that game forever ago, but I don't super remember. If that's the game I'm thinking of. Oh gosh, my headphones aren't on. I was like, why aren't I getting any sound? I'm not the smartest. Dang, that guy's showing a lot of midriff. Ah, fuck, I always do that. Liking it a lot. Story is great. Dated shooting mechanics, but still good. That's good. Oh. I didn't have anyone selected and was just trying to shoot at nothing. Oopsie poopsie. These guys I need to swap. I was trying to remember. I was like, I know when I was on my laptop, I was like, oh, I need to swap those two. Couldn't remember what. Do. Ooh, that thing looks awesome. Look at the sparkly jelly. So pretty. Sparkly fishy, I'm gonna kill you. Oh, what am I doing? Ooh. Nope, ouch. I did not know how big that was gonna be. My bad. Sorry, everyone. Oh my god, how do I get out of there in time? Like, how do I... that AoE is so big. It's so big! Being attacked by these tentacles. Oh, ouchie. I'm getting hurt. Okay, I'm gonna try and stick with these guys. Sticking with you guys. Okay, we all got hit, so... not my fault. That time I think if I had kept running, I could have probably ran out of the AoE. Yay! Bye bye, pretty jellyfish. Sorry we had to murder you. Ooh, do I need this? Yes, yes, I need that. Boop. Need sleep. Oh, I didn't get it. Stupid dancers. Stealing my gear. Oh, I don't want to. Okay. Oh, I thought I hopped out of that. I didn't. I hopped back into it, if anything. Turn back, treasure seeker. This vault will be your tomb. You wanna like stand here? Yes. Okay, gotcha. Gotcha. Okay, now over here. Gotcha. Uh-oh. Where am I? There we are. I'm not gonna lie, I was only like half paying attention on that one, so what, like here-ish? Uh-oh. 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 There you go. Uh-oh. Uh-oh. Here-ish? Is this safe? Oh, just barely. Look at me. I was afraid of that guy. So I wasn't sure. Look at me, figuring out AoEs all on my own. Hiya! Hiya! Oops, wrong one. Hiya! You almost dead. You're gonna be dead, bitch. Die before this one, because I don't know if I can get lucky enough. Okay. I don't know if I can get that lucky again. Ooh, I have some gross burps. Looks a little tired. Maybe I should get myself a monster. Well, I guess we really did find a lot of treasure here. There's a lot of gold in this fucking vault. It's like the Cave of Wonders up in this bitch. Look at this.
Oh wow.
Well, and we thought the guy was lying. We thought this was gonna be a fake. Well, I guess the little kid confirmed that it's like somewhat accurate, but no one ever comes back alive. Which, I mean, this just seems like a Cave of Wonders type deal. I'm sure they're just getting trapped here for some reason. Looming Warden. Capiculu. He looks like when you have like a lot of ribbons or fabric stuff and you just kind of throw them all in a drawer and then you pull it out like a couple years later and you're like, oh fuck. It all tangled together. What the hell? Okay. That was weird. That controlled very strangely. I didn't really know if I was, like, quite controlling anything there. Okay, now what do we do with these ribbon? Hide? Hide behind a ribbon? Hide behind specific ribbon? Oh, fuck. I guess I hid behind the wrong ribbon. Oh, well. Well. Sorry. Okay. How? How do you not be in here anymore? Fuck. I'm dead. How do you get out of the fucking spikes? Again, it controls like shit. Which I'm sure is the intention for it to control like shit, but also I just feel like I had no idea what was going on. Because the first time I felt like it was fine, and then it seemed a lot. So we go to the yellow one, because he's pointing at a... not yellow one. Got lots
What
of
have we here?
strangely covered fabric.
'Tis not unlike a Hunnish alchemical furnace in design.
Well, there is one way we might find out.
You're like a Hannish alchemical furnace. I don't know what that means.
You mustn't touch it.
Vritra! Oh, my apologies. Should I continue calling you Varshan?
You may address me as you wish. My nature is no longer a secret. Still, this is not a setting I imagined for our reunion. Surely you've not entered these ruins as common looters.
Well, what would you consider common? Because we definitely came with the attention to loot.
Would that we could deny your accusations, but I fear you're not far from the truth.
But I wouldn't say we're common. We're
Great Vritra,
seasoned
might you beseech
looters,
me to
if
explain
anything.
the nature of this strange contrivance.
It was crafted by our alchemists at my behest, for the purpose of sealing something away.
Sealing away what exactly?
Perhaps I should simply show you.
Mm-hmm. I mean, unless you want to keep it sealed away, and then in which case you don't have to show me. He's like, let me show you, and then it's like a hell beast that pops out and kills me. Like, oh, thanks. Yeah.
Right, bitch.
Just unleashes like hell on earth.
Here, someone's doing that though.
I mean, it looks like an angry butthole, so
Like after Taco Bell.
like you after cheese.
I have lifted the seal, if only for the moment, by an authority only I possess.
A planar fissure?
Oh, it's a planar fissure, of course.
No, my friend. Small though it may be, this is a functioning gate into the void.
Oh, so it's even worse than a gate to hell. It's a gate into nothing. Good.
Right. What?
Gonna grab food, be back in a bit. Yeah. Get some good food. Void gates and fissures are much the same thing in practice, in the sense that both allow passage between the source and the 13th. The difference in terminology refers to the circumstances of their creation. A fissure is an incidental tear in the fabric between worlds, whereas a void gate is the product of a deliberate action. Oh, you're fun at parties, aren't you? I suspect that I suspect this is the later, judging by the elaborate mechanism put in place to control it. To think that our search for material riches would lead... He's so the well actually guy right now. Erringer was like, oh, it's a planar fissure, and he's like, no, actually it's a void gate, which works the same way and still does the exact same thing, but the way that it was created is different. Like, oh, okay, thanks. Thanks, dude. That swirling emptiness, it puts me in mind of old friends, not to mention old foes. Okay. Well, but why is it here, and why is it sealed? Are you okay? Baby, be careful. You know I'm the one that's supposed to be choking in this relationship. Rude.
I must admit, I am deathly curious to know how a void gate came to be hidden in the depths of these ruins.
To tell that tale, We must first peer far to the south, and even further into memory.
Do you think you'll be staying up late tonight? I'm gonna grab myself a monster. Ow. Am I not? Okay. You didn't hit me hard. The owl was more just.
An age 5 millennia
Why?
passed when the Algan Empire sent an invading force to the shores of Mericidia.
Fair enough.
The southern people rallied around the commanding figures of Bahamut and Tiamat and fought fiercely to repel the would-be conquerors. With Bahamut's defeat, however, the tide turned against
Are you still
them.
mumbling?
Desperate to seize any advantage, the Mercidians
Thank you,
resorted
baby.
to summoning primal entities.
You act like I ordered you to go get me a drink. Are you drinking my water? Are you? Oh, so my water's just available now.
In response, Emperor Zande forged a covenant with the Cloud of Darkness, sovereign among the all-devouring denizens of the Void, thus bolstered by icons on one side and Void Scent on the other. The two armies clashed in a battle of unspeakable carnage. So much death, so much loss.
I consider myself well versed in that period of history, yet you speak as one who witnessed it happen.
Well, I mean, he's a fucking one of the dragons. Yeah, he probably was there. They've been here for fucking
Indeed,
eons.
I heard Tiamat's roar of defiance and sped toward that war-torn land.
You're the only one allowed to take it.
Now I remember
Alone
why I
with my
stream when
sibling.
you're not home.
Ashdaya.
You know, since I put that sound gate on too,
male
most of
or
what you're
female,
saying isn't
as
being
men
picked
are
up by the
wont to
mic.
classify, but elder sister is the closest a mortal tongue can come to describing what she meant to me. I was the last of our brood to hatch, and Ashdaya cared for me where my sire could not. Thus, I was with her when Tiamat roared. I was with her when she journeyed south, and I was with her when she fought against the Void-sent hordes. Yet no matter how many of their vile fiends we cast down, more rose from the abyss to take their place. Faced with an unwinnable war of attrition, Ashdaya risked her all on a final gamble. She plunged through the Void Gate itself to strike at the root of their strength. I tried to follow in her wake, determined to lend what aid I could. But even as I came upon Alag's glittering tower, I saw the rift close behind her.
Oh, this is a dragon.
That fucking thing back.
This is his secret form he used to use to run around amongst the mortals.
Really? He looks like the no fucking bomb.
Well, that's just a dragon. That's the dragon people. There's like a whole bunch of them. They have like think like dragonborn people. Or no, what's the D&D class that's like half dragon people? Anyways, they're like that. No, they're.
I feel I like to be with that.
They're not. No, there's like half dragons in. That's a race in D&D.
And Ashdaya has been
Can't think of
lost
what they're
to
called.
us
They're
ever
probably like half
since.
dragons or half drakes or something. Something really
I
obvious.
find I must retract my earlier claim of historical knowledge. Nowhere in the Crystal Tower's archives did I see mention of such noble sacrifice.
That does not surprise me. To Allagan eyes, it must have seemed as if a lone dragon, driven to madness, simply dove through the gate and did not return. For my part, I spent long years searching for the means to reunite with Ashdaya. Until I could search no more. Until Allag was dust, and the art to open a void gate large enough to accommodate a dragon forever lost.
Yet you have the beginnings of a
but
gate right here.
Also, I think
under the
we
control
have like one of the
Harvest
most
device.
experts of opening one of those gates standing in this room. Pretty much Graha was like
My discovery
the most
came before
well-versed,
Al-Qatan was founded.
especially with his
Though
time traveling.
I scoured the lands for a method to cross the rift. It was beneath the sea that I chanced to find a natural planar fissure. It was, however, far too narrow to admit a worm's bulk. Only after our city rose upon the rock, and I could enlist the aid of our talented alchemists, did matters take a favorable turn. Their dedication was beyond reproach.
Okay, but why are you also
Tirelessly they
hoarding
worked to expand
so
the
much
fissure,
gold and
after
shit?
decades of toil, it finally grew to a size that a child might pass through.
Not long ago, you told us that you called out to your kin, that Ashdaya's answer was silence. I suspect the conclusion to your tale is not a joyful one.
With hope in my heart, I used a simulacrum to cross the threshold. But no, I did not find her. What I found was a host of void scent, clamoring around the opening they had sensed. 'Twas but a moment.
So, sounds like we should go through.
The gate was a threat to your people. You had to decide between endangering Razatan and abandoning your sister.
And you chose the
'Twas
later.
not that thy sibling scorned thy call. 'Twas that she was trapped beyond a barrier through which neither roar nor dragon may pass. Even now, in the desolate world of the 13th.
Okay, but also,
I can
still another
scarce
question.
imagine the pain, yet
Your
it was wise not to
island is
linger in
full
that
of people
place.
who are super
Too
poor
long a
and
sojourn, and even a being
having
of your
nothing
power
but
risks being warped into a creature of the
poverty woes. Why are you hoarding this much gold here? Still, you sound like a little bit of an
You've
asshole.
seen this phenomenon before, when we stepped into the darkness.
I know influx of money doesn't necessarily help the problem, but I can't imagine that keeping all this gold here is helping anyone. Alright, I thought our time had come.
As did I. Were it not for Une and Doga, or Nero for that matter, we might never have made it home. Do you remember what happened to Nero?
No.
How his wounds allowed the void's corruption to enter his body and twist his ether?
Hammy, quiet baby. It's okay. Calm down. Calm down. Calm down. Lay down. Thank you. I know. I know.
Had it been allowed to progress much longer, I presume he would have been fully transformed.
I do not. I have such a bad memory, and when it comes to
There
this
is little
game,
hope
I
for
never
Ashdaya.
remember shit that happens. I have no idea who he's talking about or what happened. Who's Nero?
Ah, no. I hadn't meant to. I speak only of possibilities. The scales of the first brood are extraordinarily resistant to ethereal fluctuations. They are the protective talisman's core components after all, and even the corruption I described would struggle to overcome. Of course. With the warding scale in one's possession, one could conceivably survive a stay in the 13th without being warped by its energies.
See, I told
Be that as
you,
it
little
may,
dragon boy,
it
this
is too
guy's like
late
the
to
most
rescue my
well-versed
sister.
in, like,
5,000 years too late.
traveling. We can go in there, we can go check out what's going on, we can see if your sister's still alive,
And now countless others look to me for guidance and protection.
and you hoard a whole bunch of gold. Got it. You're still a dragon. Fucking smogging it up out here in the middle of the waters.
So when I sensed intruders in the ruins, I came only to ensure that the gate remained closed. That, and to secure the treasure, of course.
Is there alcohol in this monster?
We shall need to
Maybe
figure
there
this.
should be. Yeah, we gotta find it. I have a feeling that we're gonna go through that butthole to the other side to find his dragon sister who went through a different butthole a long time ago. And he could never find her. But you see, like, the redheaded cat boy over here? He is like an expert in traveling through all the different kinds of buttholes. So, this is how I'm explaining Final Fantasy XIV. He's like the world's most expert in butthole traveling. See, because he did it a really long time ago and got stuck on the other side of a butthole. I'm just telling you what happened in the story. And then I went back and forth through the butthole a lot to help the other side. Yeah. So they managed not only to expand the fissure, but also manipulate it as one might a gate. Astonishing. Is there a chance I could learn more of this, how this feat was accomplished? I mean, honestly, I would love a way to learn how to speak. That would be so great. It would help me so much, especially when I'm streaming. We were perhaps a touch zealous in a rush to uncover the vault's secrets. If the constructs can be repaired, we would be happy to offer our assistance. That will not be necessary. Much as I retain spare vessels for myself, we keep duplicate guardians on hand for such eventualities. In any case, we should return to rods at hand. Okay. Are we taking any of the gold home, though? I mean, again, why do you have this much? What? Why do you have this much gold, buddy? You can't feed your people right now. Like half of your continent is starving to death. You're silly, but. Just I'm thinking, you know, maybe we can still, like, bring some gold home. Help import some food, you know, from other continents and shit. I promise we will discuss the Void Gate further. Why are we just now talking about the Void Gate? Like, that's all we care about now? What happened to... Okay. But first I must attend to the matter of the Vault's sentinels. Yeah, I destroyed them. As your instruments have no doubt informed you, the Kulu has been reduced to so much scrap. Yeah, sorry, that was me. Please bring a new one out of storage and see that it is conveyed to its post along with some few lesser constructs. Was it tomb robbers? I mean, we were kind of trying to rob the tomb, but... Fiends born of the Tower of Zot by the sisters. Do not tell me of blasphemy yet roams free. Just me. Not really a blasphemy, but, you know... the most powerful person in the universe, so You guys didn't want me to go and raid your tomb, Yeah, you should have told me. I mean, I very openly bought a map in the middle of the marketplace. Why such guilty faces? Surely isn't you who are responsible for this. Yeah. Ah, well, the details aren't important. I shall see it done immediately. Oh yeah, did you realize that the best warriors in the fucking whatever the name of our planet is, the source, just were the ones who killed that? And with that, the vault will soon be secure once more. Now, I believe you had questions. Yes, why do you have so much money? Damn it, no one's asking that yet. Quite a few, in fact, but I'd like to begin with the gate itself. It is still functional, yes? Indeed, which is why I saw it sealed with an alchemically forged lock and warded it with my magics. Such power must not fall into the wrong hands. In truth, the primary reason for the vault's construction was to keep the gate hidden from the outside world. So much effort for such a little door. That little door you speak of leads to an abyss teeming with unspeakable horrors. That said, in its current state, it would admit only the lowliest of void sent. From this side, no man would be able to pass through. No man. I should think elf knowledge would fit, given a firm enough push. Jeez, you guys. Physical size is only one consideration. The true restriction hinges upon the etheric density of the soul it transits. And yet, you succeeded in expanding this diminutive portal and sending your... Oh my god, stop using weird words. Simulacrum to the 13th. I've only read that word. How do you say it? Simulacrum? 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 Thanks to my brilliant alchemists, I should have destroyed the anomaly when I found it, but instead I bade them devise a means to control it. Is no one gonna mention the hoarding of money? After much experimentation, they accomplished the impossible. A method was conceived by which my magics could manipulate the fissure and transform it into a serviceable gate. But the process has long since been forgotten. Once I had given up searching for Azdaja, there was no need to preserve such esoteric and dangerous knowledge. Thus the gate lay dormant for years uncounted. Our own passage to the 13th was made relatively simple, thanks to the Crystal Tower. An ancient mechanism channeled the tower's vast stores of energy to open a void gate, one bound to a covenant made with the Cloud of Darkness. Once that sovereign entity was beaten back, however, the covenant was broken and the doorway severed from its connection to the void. Theoretically, it should be possible to reconnect the gate by forging a new pact with another void sent. But such deals usually end in betrayal and death. In any case, we should attempt to gain an understanding of the Bounty Gate. Mayhap you could resume the search for your sister. As I've already explained, I put those futile hopes out to rest centuries ago. My place and my duty is here now. I meant to ask, what prompted you to search for the vault in the first place? Money? To see if the legends were true? That there was money? As you have seen, the fabulous wealth from the stores is quite real, if not its rumored origin, but I'm afraid I must assert a prior claim. I've been adding to that trove for years, little by little. But the time has come to spend it, that I might alleviate my people's suffering. Would you have said this if we hadn't have found it, though? Did you forget, maybe? Because, I mean, I feel like people have been suffering for a little bit in your country there, brother.
Yeah, brother.
Then we are of one mind. I had no intention of taking it for ourselves. Isn't that right, my friend? Yeah. No, I know. But I am curious how it's still there. Your Excellency, would you object if I were to conduct a closer examination of the gate? I will make no attempt to open it, of course. I owe you and yours a debt that can never be repaid. Whatever boon you ask of me, you shall have it. You are most gracious. I shall take full advantage of your permission. Would that I could join thee in thy study, but the Loprites will be anxious to receive my report. I beg my leave of you. Hi, bye-bye. And I must be off to Charlene as well. Mistress Krill, why do I always have trouble with her name? Mistress Krill was eager to speak with you about that request, so please come back to the annex as soon as you're able. Farewell for now. We can discuss my findings once I return. You'll not be rid of me so easily. Okay, so question though. When were you planning on using this money to help your people? Were you waiting for more of them to be starved? You may now undertake the Chronicles of a New Era quest series Myths of the Realm. Difficult part in all of this will be deciding how best the riches to use. Will you lend me your assistance in these deliberations? Of course. I'm also not apologizing for breaking his constructs. Thank you, Alexial. Alexial and I are in this together. I will follow her example. Obviously, you guys need to make your things harder. It's not my fault they broke so easy. Meanwhile, elsewhere. Okay. What in the heck is going on? We got all the elements here. Is this like, the old Emperor back? This just reminds me of like Final Fantasy I Emperor. Throne of Earth. I sensed the breaching of a gate, but it was not instigated from this side. It was thrown open from the other. I too felt it. A rare occurrence, yes, but such a tiny portal is beneath our notice. There are more pressing matters at hand. An opportunity is upon us, the coming of which we have awaited for nigh on 10,000 years. We dare not let it slip our grasp. Yet we must not underestimate she who bested the cloud of darkness. Even restrained by a covenant, the cloud was no feeble wisp to be dispersed by some flesh and blood mortal. Bah, let her come. I will drown the world and watch this fleshling grasp for breath in her final moment. Your zeal is Knight in Black, interesting. Your zeal is admirable, but forget not our cause. Think back on our struggles beneath the sunless sky. Remember why we cede not our will to fight. Yeah, is he just like the Emperor from the first one? 'Tis time we set the war in motion and win redemption for our star. Which star is your star? I mean, the way they were talking, they obviously... Is this like someone from the 13th? Or from before the 13th? I don't know. Like before we were sundered. Shall we begin? If we are to spend the treasure wisely, then we must first determine which groups would benefit most from monetary assistance. Oh, great. This is the budgetary portion of the after storyline mode. Oh, now I gotta go budget our fucking taxes or whatever. Some of my citizens may find it intimidating to speak with the satrap directly, so I would ask that you act in my stead. Alexial, you're to visit and Yildama. Yep, those are names. Speak with Matsya and his people and listen to their grievances. Astidian, I bid you do the same at Palaka's stand. I will be conducting my own inquiries at... Once you... I can't say any of the names of shit in this fucking continent. I'm so bad at it. There's just too many consonants. Once you believe... And too many vowels, sometimes. Anyways. Once you believe you have ascertained the needs of the populace, we can reconvene it. Magda Duda. Okay. How come we have to go and act like... I mean, usually, isn't there people in government whose job it is to know, like, where to put funds? How come you're getting us to do it? We're just warriors of light and shit. Like, can we, sometimes warriors of darkness. You wanna know what I never am? I'm fucking in charge of budgets. Matzia! Oh, Alexial, I was so glad to see you had returned unharmed. You finished with the boat then? Hi. Anything the village desperately needs? Well, I suppose Calz's loss hit us the hardest. I've been trying to find buyers for my fish, but although I sell a few here and there, it's so much more difficult than it was before. Everyone's still struggling to rebuild their lives. For now, we're just banding together as best we can. Oops, that's not what I wanted. Hello, Junkmonger. Greetings and welcome, traveler. If this is your first visit to Thavnir, then you must try my special Armalasi. Its refreshing zest cannot be beat. What could such a wonder cost, you wonder? Okay. Normally I part with 3 bottles for a generous price of 19,800 gil, but for you, I'm willing to go as low as even 10,000. You'd be practically stealing from me. Still not turning a profit these days, eh? You already tried this ploy on me, buddy. Times are harsh, my friend. The world may no longer be on fire, but we are still sifting through the ashes, so to speak. Sisters, spare me. We might as well have that ugly tower back for the scant few travelers we see these days. I myself barely have the coin to buy at local prices. I tell you, if I didn't charge the odd adventurer a small fortune for afternoon tea, I'd be scavenging for scraps in the street. Okay. So we need to spend money on getting, suckers in. Got it. Sigh. How fares the port? Well, it's in shambles, isn't it? The trade routes are open once more now that the danger has passed, certainly, but no small number of merchants have had to sell their ships to make ends meet in short term. Add to that the sailors we lost in the final days, and it's little wonder the flow of exports is no more than a pitiful trickle. If Kulzal and his consortium were still with us, I'm sure he'd have found a way to turn our fortunes around. Now, that was a man who got things done, God's rest his soul. You have spoken with key local figures and gained an understanding of the populace's hardships. Wow. So I spoke to 3 people, and now I understand their hardships, and I'm going to determine how to spend the money to make their country work good again. I wish it was this easy in real life. Yeah, just go speak to 3 locals in America and see how to fix the economy. Well, I guess fair enough. That, like, the music in the main hall of this area just reminds me so much of Battlestar Galactica for some reason. I know it's like Indian-inspired music, but it just reminds me of Battlestar Galactica. Why do you retain this vessel now that your true form is known? You could have flown across the island in a fraction of the time. Be that as it may, the sight of a massive creature descending from the sky can be startling to say the least. Plus, do you know how hard it is to fit a dragon in all of these locations that we're in? Like the model. I mean, they can only do so much in this game. And there are a few places I can enter comfortably without risk of flattening some cart or stall. Fair enough. As for my inquiries, the people of Polokistan were unanimous in their reply. They are surviving. Resources were stretched to the limit when refugees were pouring in, but they persevered with some assistance from Yedlamad. From what I understand, they have always been an independent community, hunters and foragers and the like. I was assured that the jungle provides for their needs, for the most part. Polokistan has weathered the disaster better than most, it seems. I myself heard good news and bad. The quarrymen were cautiously optimistic, having just sold a full wagon of giant skull to a foreign trader. But such visitors are few and far in between. Compared to our best years, the weight of stone leaving Thavner has been light indeed. Our nation is small and isolated, its prosperity dependent on a steady stream of exports. We must identify any obstacles to the flow of trade so we may yet begin working to remove them. Tell me, what did you learn in Alexialrae and Yeldelmed? These names are so hard, baby. I see. Without a dedicated buyer, the average fisherman must struggle to offload his daily catch. Which is why I believe we should first address the lack of ships and shortage of able-bodied sailors in Yeldelmed. Yedlamad. Maybe. I am reminded of a child I spied as I made my way back to the palace. His father lost at sea when the beasts sunk their vessel. So many variations of the same tragic tale. I mean, most of them were trying to get to your fucking vault, my dude. Repeated over and over, so many lives lost. Maybe if you just told them, like, hey, there is an island, but it's not what you want. I don't know. Enough grief to drown in if we let ourselves be overcome, but we will not. Alexialrae, I will consider the perspectives you've brought me and devise a plan to help my people confront this adversity. Come, would you like to be in attendance when I announce the proposal to my assembled functionaries? Okay, are you gonna, like, do you have anyone in your government? Because I feel like this is the kind of thing that maybe a whole group of people should be talking to you about proposals of what to do with the money and stuff. Not just, two adventurers who've been here a few times.
I thank you for your attendance. The riches the Radiant Host have retrieved were hoarded in Al-Zadal's name. A fortune I set aside for a future day of need. And lo, that day hath come. May it aid our wounded city in reclaiming its vibrancy and vigor. In better times, I would leave such a task to our capable Ahawan. God's rest his soul. Finding myself bereft of his counsel in the here and now, I will assume the responsibilities of mine office directly.
Okay, but also you're a dragon. Maybe you should still have like a council of people who could tell you what the needs of the people of your country are. Just a
First,
suggestion.
the treasure shall be sold for more convenient currency. Thence, invested into the trading port of Yedlamad. Our merchants must have their operations restored, their ships rebuilt. Commerce must flow. None will spare the
I mean, you're right, I guess. Sometimes I think of solutions that maybe are too straightforward, obvious. This is government, right?
We provide new means for our fishermen, our artisans, and others to bring their wares to distant markets.
And what of the children who were left without family to care for them?
That is a concern which weigheth heavily upon my mind. A simple gift of coin will soon be exhausted, leaving these young souls adrift on the fringes of our society. Nay, a proper solution is needed, one which doth guarantee their welfare for years to come.
Let me guess, you're gonna open up orphanages, right?
Thou hast surely seen how other nations rise to meet this challenge, adventurer. What dost thou deem the wisest course?
Kill them. Who needs a bunch of orphans? Taxes? Levy them on trade profits in exchange for your investment? What? It takes a village. Ilshire's orphanage was funded through trade in highly coveted goods. Wait, what does any of these really mean? I don't know if I understand what I'm suggesting with any of these, except for maybe the last one. Alan's just saying, make an orphanage and fund it through high-cost good trade. But what is taxes? Levy them on trade profits in exchange for your investment. What does that mean? Are we taxing them for the rest of their life? What? I don't understand what that means. Taxing who? Who are we taxing? It takes a village. I mean, I don't really know that any of these is a solution. I'm not smart enough to come up with a solution for having a shitload of orphans after war. That's a very complex issue. You think I can... Huh? That was my solution, was just kill him. Who needs some orphans? Child labor. That's my next one. Just put them to work.
A contract shall be written, requiring all who receive avowals a dars.
Okay, so now everyone who takes any of the treasure that he was hoarding, and pretty much embezzling, honestly, because he said over time he would take small portions of treasure and hide them on that island, in that vault, and that's why he had such big riches in that vault that he was hoarding. But anyways, and now he's using that money to put back into the thing, and now everyone who takes any of that money is going to get taxed to support the orphans. Which I'm not saying is wrong, but doesn't really help a whole lot. I feel like that's just going to cause everyone to hate the orphans. You know what I mean? Everyone's going to be like, oh, fuck you, orphans.
No.
I don't want to pay for these orphans to go to college.
Is deserving of a worthy name.
Oh, I guess that's really the same thing, huh? Yeah, name it after one of your most successful merchants. I'm sure he would love to have a tax policy labeled after him.
I believe I see.
That's what merchants love, right?
Kalzal should be remembered, not as the blasphemy which terrorized Thavne, but as a hard work.
Well, I'm not gonna lie, this so far has been my least favorite, like, storyline that they've ever done.
Wealth to our shores.
This is like way too like trying to be black and white about very complex governmental issues. And a dragon who was embezzling from his country for a long time. I mean, that's embezzling. He was taking riches. He was in charge of this continent, and he was taking riches and storing them. I mean, maybe he wasn't taking riches from this continent, but still. I don't know, but it sounds fishy, considering he was supposed to never have left this island the whole time that he was banished here. Or hiding here.
When I think of Kalzal, I feel no hatred. Only a stinging regret that we could not save him as well. Isn't that right, men?
This bodes well for that boy. Mirad, was it?
Perhaps he can cut ties with that shady peddler.
Why would he cut ties with the peddler and go live in an orphanage, though? He has a job.
Henceforth, this initiative shall be known. Nabdeen, thou art to assemble a patrol and ensure that no child in this city...
Oh, and now you're gonna go and wind up all the kids and put them in the orphanage? Okay. Yeah, he just ordered the guards to go and round up all the children and make sure they never live in squalor.
See to the management of our funds and make haste. Our citizens must not suffer a day more than is...
I mean, also, do you have a place to keep them yet? Like, we just put in place this tax policy. Do you already have, like, a place that you're gonna keep these kids? You're just rounding them up. Gonna be, like, throwing them in a fucking, I guess, this banquet hall for some time. Like, here, kids. It's better than the streets, I guess.
Don't be orphan.
Why'd you let your parents die in the war? Jeez. Again, it's just like, this seems like such a complex issue for them to be like... treating so like, oh look, we solved it! Thank you for putting forth Kalzal's name. Those whose lives he enriched will take comfort in seeing his legacy honored. By being the name of a tax policy? I don't understand you people. You ought to forgive me for not speaking sooner, but I bear a message from Archon Ishtola. She asks that you meet her at the High Crucible at your earliest convenience. Understood, thank you. Ishtola must have finished her study of the Void Gate. Shall we hear what she has to say then? I will go with you. You know, Mr. Dragon, why don't you just fucking cool it, huh? Can you just, like, focus on your orphans and shit? I thought the satrap would be too busy setting up the foundation. Ah, nah, I'm a dragon. I don't do that kind of shit. Sorry. My clerks have been well-oiled cogs of the administration since before Alwyn assumed the office. They understand what needs to be done. So you do have clerks? People who, I don't know, could have been better than us foreigners at telling you what the issues in the city... I'm curious to learn what conclusions your Archon has reached concerning the gate's unique construction. Again, too, I feel like this dragon's just like, oh no, we solved that problem. We're good. Let's go figure out my gate shit. Let's go talk about my void butthole. Yeah, that whole orphan thing? Ah, they all got it taken care of. Who needs an old dusty dragon around? Also, I felt like we really focused on that orphan problem, and not a whole lot else. We're giving the merchants who are having trouble getting people to come to this island and do any kind of trade. We just gave them money. That'll solve that.
Yeah, that's not that
And then we are taxing those people and making them pay for the orphanages. Which will solve the orphans' not eating problem. Right? I guess you're right. I am not an economist. I'm not a politician. I guess theoretically that all works, doesn't it? Just wrapped in a bow. Who said ho? I can't believe there was a Aethernet that I wasn't attuned to in this city. That's crazy. Is there more? That didn't say I am now attuned to everything either, so. I guess I never hit every spot in the city. Had no idea. Anyways, what's up, Ishtoli? Ishtoli. Her name's Ishtola.
Right, here we all are.
You discovered something new.
I wish everyone in this game didn't have stupid names, because I would totally name, like, other stuff after characters in this game. But they all have such dumb names. Estinian, Ishtola, Dancreed. They're just not very fun names, you know?
I took a closer look at that device. I was able to determine how it keeps the Void Gate sealed, but not how it might instead be employed to expand the opening. For that,
I'll show you how to expand an
I will need to
opening.
reference the technique developed by Vritra's alchemists, no records of which appear to have survived the intervening years.
We know this, so why have you sent
Sorry.
us? Have you learned aught of value or not?
I could.
Do it on my head.
Shh.
Patience, good sir. One must introduce the subject before launching into specifics. From what we understand, travel between worlds is accomplished by passing through the nebulous rift which exists between them. Picture, if you will, the moment you were called to the first. You touched a focus of some kind to help the Exarch pinpoint your location. His summoning spell then channeled the energies of the Crystal Tower to begin your journey to his world.
You know, no matter how many times they explain this kind of stuff to me, I do not understand it at all. They are again explaining how I was sent to the first, and I don't understand it.
Tore a hole in the wall separating source and shard, and cast you into the intervening nothingness. In that place, the laws of nature hold no sway. Yet even through this realm of temporal and spatial instability, you were borne safely to your destination in the first. The feat that guided you across such an unimaginable distance, both physical and metaphorical, was nothing short of a miracle.
Then what of the many voidsent found in the source? Who guides them here, and how?
An excellent question. Though there are several methods by which the Void's denizens might intrude upon our world, the rituals of summoning are the most typical. For example, let us consider the Gargoyle, a creature of middling power.
Okay.
To call upon such an entity, the prospective summoner must force open a void gate.
I've seen that happen a lot in a lot of different dungeons. Understand that.
The portal lasts but a moment and is relatively small, allowing only an imp or other lesser being to squeeze through with their physical body intact.
Does the statue even mean anything in that case, then? Is it just like a point of focus for them making the portal
Our
or
more
something?
powerful gargoyle, however, is too large for that. Creating a gate big enough for him would require vast amounts of energy, far beyond the reserves of any one mortal practitioner.
Okay. And then obviously a dragon, and you're gonna need like a fucking army of people who can open a gate.
Instead, 'tis far more common to bring over only the entity's soul. We had a taste of that ourselves.
Oh,
when a certain
okay, so
exarch
that's
dragged
what the
us to
gargoyle
first.
is for. You bring over their soul, and then it goes into the... Oh, look at you! Explaining things to my simple brain in a way that we'll understand. To be fair, it's not my brain's fault. This is all physics that is
And
not
just as
our
bodies
physics.
remained in our world,
You know?
the void sense physical form is left behind in the 13th.
Okay, I get you. And then it hops into the statue. And all they had to transfer was just the soul, not the whole body. Gotcha.
Once at its destination, the summoned soul is granted a temporary shell to inhabit. In the gargoyle's case, a stone effigy has proven a suitable vessel.
That makes sense. And then through magic, so you give it skin. Got it. Or maybe just magic itself. I don't know. But
Wait. You said
got
the
it.
void scent must be called here deliberately by someone in the source, reeled in like a fisherman with his catch.
Yeah, that makes sense.
Exactly. For a being to navigate the chaos of the rift, with or without form, there must needs be a guiding agent on the other side.
Makes sense.
When the hordes poured forth from Alag's Great Gate, it was the technologists who drew them through. Though to my knowledge, planar fissures are in essence natural passages between our world and the void, which require no such guidance to traverse. Why is only the boundary between the source and the 13th so fragile? So much so that it often tears open of its own accord.
I believe solving that mystery
is it
key to understanding
physically
travel
closer?
between the source and its reflections.
And how do you intend to get your answers?
No, the danger is too great.
Oh, calm down, Dragon Boy. You're new to this group. We do this shit all the time.
Perhaps. But what some call danger, others think of as adventure.
Exactly. We
But
got
in addition
this.
to my tale, never mind that the means to expand the gate has been lost to the ages. Even could you force the portal wide enough, you would be greeted by an army of murderous horrors the very instant you step through.
You're no fun, Mr. Dragon.
I assure you I was most attentive. And I agree that to go alone would be
Certain
But
death.
if I were to bring along one who has already braved the 13th and humbled the cloud of darkness, well, I imagine my chances would be much improved.
Yeah! Dude, I could, like, destroy all of the 13th and come back. Count me in. Again, I'm the Warrior of Light. I'm
had a
pretty
feeling
much
you
the
might say that.
coolest in the whole universe. In all of
Once again,
the
I put my
13
life in your ever-reliable hands.
planets or dimensions, or I don't really understand how our world works, but you know what I mean.
That said, as much as I would like to march straight back to the Void Gate, there is the small matter of being unable to open it without the satrap's personal authority.
Well, when he's in this little boy mode, can't we just hold him down and tickle him until he opens it for us? That sounded a little weird.
As I've said before,
I just mean, I feel like I could
you
punch it out of
endorse
him.
any boon you choose to name, provided it does not endanger my people.
You have my word that we will take every precaution. Not a single void scent will be allowed to threaten Radzatan, assuming we manage to expand the portal in the first place.
You have a plan.
Actually, I had hoped you might help us with that. I presume the alchemists you retained supplied you with some explanation of their methodology.
That they did. House Daymir was overseeing the project.
Daymir. Ah, yes. The family associated with the great work.
I did not fully comprehend the theory, but their research began with a void scent which had slipped through the fissure.
Wow, I'm really glad that we just got over the woes of your government and are back on to fighting shit, because
After
I really
thorough
was getting
examination,
bored.
They created an arcane simulacrum possessed of similar qualities. A man-made void scent, if you will. It was apparently indispensable in their efforts to enlarge the gate.
A man-made void scent.
Yes. Being great admirers of the Archons, House Daymir submitted detailed notes to Charlene's official committee. They expected praise and accolades for their simulacrum, and were thus devastated to be informed that their work had been classified as prohibited material.
If that's true, then those notes might still be stored in a forbidden archive somewhere. Not Google, of course, since that library had yet to be built. Which leaves us with...
I'm sorry, I dazed out, with Graha's favorite place to sneak around. That sounds funny. I'm a funny guy. I didn't understand a word you guys were saying. Sorry, you guys were getting a little too, science talky.
Indeed. Numenon's restricted stacks may very well hold a
It was like all science and history and, not even like my world's science and history. It's like your world's science and history, and sometimes I just fucking zone out when you guys talk.
Unless you anticipate needing help to reach the high shelves.
See, he got bored of the conversation too.
Go on ahead. I still need to find Mirad and tell him about the Kalzal Foundation.
I like Astidian. He's like, unless you guys need help reaching something, peace.
Let us be on our way as well.
They
Why
have
do you look so
resolved to
broody?
venture into the void. Do I sit idly by?
Ugh. You know, Mr. Dragon, you sat idly by your entire fucking life, dude. You fled the Dragon Wars. You didn't even, like, show up for the Dragon Song Wars. Now. And that was, like, your brothers and sisters starting fucking civil war and shit. And now you're like, oh, am I doing nothing? Yes! That seems to be what you do best. You know, I really liked this dragon when we first met this dragon in the expansion. More and more, I'm just going like, oh, he's kind of like a bitch. Compared to all the other dragons, he's just kind of a bitch. If we're to enter Numenon's restricted archives with a minimum of fuss, then we must secure the permission from the Forum. First, however, we shall need to enlist the cooperation of a member of the Broach, or of a member to broach the matter on our behalf. Who do you think might be inclined to assist us? No one springs to mind. I don't even remember who the fuck is part of the forum anymore. I'm cool. Can't we just ask? What if Skolark Monteche? Well, yeah, that guy. He did come to Graha's defense during the inquiry, after all. Sure. 'Tis settled. Let us head to Phenomenon and see if he's willing to. Is that really right? Yeah. Okay. And see if he's willing to help us once more. I don't remember any of these people from. There are too many people in this game. You cannot expect me to remember the names. Of side characters that we met maybe one time. Okay, where am I going? Tisway. Maybe. Did I go the wrong way? No, we're good. I can sprint, right? She won't, like, get lost. Like, if there was a character that showed up one time in the expansion storyline, I'm not gonna remember their fucking name. We meet so many people. Oh, we needed to go inside this building, huh? Yeah. The Studium. I don't want to talk to you. I don't need to hear any more about the Studium. Did we have another... Oh, level 88, we do have another quest. Actually, I need to go do those. Actually, while I'm here, can I change and pick them up, or will she get mad at me? I should do it as the bonus, right? Yeah. Will she get mad if I pick this up while I have her with me? Yada yada yada. Let me just real quick. Elpis staple. So let me just take a picture of this so I know what I need to go get. Boom. Okay. Okay. Oh, I remember this guy. See, I can remember when I see them. I'm just not good with names. Ah, visitors, and quite esteemed ones at that. What might I do for you? Pray forgive the intrusion, Scholark, but we were hoping you might help us secure permission to enter Numenon's restricted archives. Oh ho, no furtive forays into the stacks this time, eh? Well, we saved the world. We figure we should be able to access restricted archives, you know? I applaud this newfound sense of propriety. Yet, in all this wide world of comparative serenity... Wow, this guy talks like an asshole. What so compels you to disturb a vault of forbidden wisdom? We want to open a void butthole. I mean, void gate. Fascinating. I had no idea such a technique existed. I would have been surprised if you had. If my assumption is correct, the research left behind by House Damir has lain dormant in Charlene's archives for many centuries. And if you unearth this research, what then? Surely you don't intend to cross over into the void. That is, in fact, precisely what we intend. To what end, pray tell? To develop a method of traversing the rift, for one, that I might keep my word to a distant friend. Sentiment aside, I have journeyed into the end of existence. I have heard, felt, and thought endlessly about the truth of our world and the echo of its future. And yet I want to understand everything, to unravel it all down to its very last secret. What scholar worthy of the name wouldn't force open a void gate or two, if a grand revelation was the promised reward? Ha ha ha, marvelous. An audacious proposal worthy of Master Matoya herself. And after hearing the whys and wherefores, I for one do not believe you would use the knowledge for ill. I see no reason not to present the double negatives this guy sometimes uses. I see no reason not to present your request to the forum's consideration. Although your petition would be better received if you also had the support of another well-placed acquaintance. Why, Master Fortunault, of course. He can hardly ignore an earnest request from his dear children's most treasured comrade. I was hesitant to approach him directly, but there is no denying that having Master Fortunault on our side, I don't know, it's French. Fortunault? Whatever. On our side would would tip the balance in our favor very well. We will pay a visit to the Levelier estate and plead our case. Levelier estate. I don't know. Fucking all these French words. Ah, one last thing before you go. I would consider it a personal favor if you might share with me the discoveries you make in the void. My appetite for knowledge is every bit as insatiable as yours, I'd wager, so if you could see your way to indulging an old man's curiosity... Of course, yeah. We'll be sure to pass on any revelations there, old dude. Could you not call it an old man's curiosity? Thanks. Make me wildly uncomfortable. Where do you know over here? To the Levelier estate. I just kind of say that like I have a bunch of marbles in my mouth because I don't really know how it's pronounced. Levelier. Levelier. Ah, Mistress Celestial, Mistress Ishtola, how may I be of service? We've come to speak with Master Ferchon. Is he home by any chance? Yes, the master is in residence. I shall inform that he has guests. Bow bow. Thank you, manservant. Ah, la French. Yeah, which I know nothing about French. I'll would invite you inside for tea, but I assume this is not a social visit. You have some matter of import to discuss. Just excuse me on all of these names. Almaliance? Whatever. Then pray proceed. You have my full attention. I'm not so good at the pronunciation of names in this game. Well, I suppose I should praise you for following the proper protocols this time around. Scholar Montijo Shingang expressed much the same sentiment. I assure you will... I'm just going to start, like, adding tons of syllables to all these names. I assure you will not attempt to circumvent the forum's authority again unless it is absolutely necessary, of course. And in the name of, you know, saving the world like we did. Of course. You do understand that the restricted archives are restricted for good reason, yes? If no pressing need exists, then why risk the consequences of employing this forbidden knowledge? For a brother who misses his sister, she was his guardian and his friend, a selfless hero who crossed the rift between worlds to save her homeland from horror and suffering. But the brother has given up on any thoughts of reunion. He spends his efforts elsewhere, watching over a people yet healing from the flames of the final days. Why did I all of a sudden lose track of how to read things? Loyal to his duty while betraying the longing in his heart. 'Tis no vital mission, perhaps, reuniting these siblings, but it feels a worthy cause to pursue all the same. As one who feared losing his own loved ones and spent years in research to prevent it, surely you appreciate how painful such a separation must be. I like that she's spinning this differently depending on who she's talking to. The other guy, she was like, oh, the pursuit of knowledge and yada yada yada, and this guy, she's like, oh, it's to save this brother who misses his sister so dearly. Reflections are still very much a mystery to us. Offering to share your experience in the first should constitute a fair exchange for our cooperation. Do not celebrate just yet. The forum must still be convened. I will add your request to the list of today's deliberations and deliver the decision to you at the Baldician Annex. Is that how you say that? I forget. Oh, we got a little lookout point. Let's just do this real quick. Just real quick. Just a little look around. Oops, and then let me run in the opposite direction. Okay. Bum, bum, bum. Where are we going? In here? So, what did the forum decide? To put it bluntly, Master Matoya has burned some bridges here in Charlayan and salted the earth for good measure. When it became clear that her student was the petitioner in question, well, no few members voiced their discontent. Then the chamber was reminded, in no uncertain terms, I might add, of the incredible debt we owe to you and your companions. Yeah, because we saved not just our world, but all the worlds. Yeah, you're welcome. Your guys' plan was to go to the moon. And that was not a good plan. That served to silence the grumbles and stiffen a few spines. And it was agreed that allowing you entry to the archives was the least we could do in return. And then you wanted to live on that moon and float through space, which also wouldn't have been safe because there was shit in space that would have killed us anyways. And plus, I mean, I think if the final days had happened, who knows if space would have really been safe. Anyways, that is wonderful news. Thank you both for speaking on our behalf. Yes, well, as I am sure you are aware, this permission was not extended lightly. Forbidden knowledge is to be treated with the utmost caution, and there will be repercussions if it is not. I wish you well in your endeavor and bid you good day. I bid you good day, sir. Ever the same, that one. Uncompromising? Aye, but that stoicism is exactly what Charlayan needed to guide it through not one, but two exoduses. That went rather well, I think. As a child, I dreamed up any number of schemes for getting my hands on those forbidden tomes, and now I can simply walk in through the door. Our focus will be on finding House Damir's research notes, of course, but the thought of so much knowledge at my disposal has me feeling a little giddy. Well, that's very nice of you. You'll be heading directly to the archives from here, I presume. You presume correctly. Then you want to speak with the index page when you arrive. What? Speak with the index page? Okay. It's been instructed to grant you access to the restricted section. Excellent. Once again, we thank you all for your help. Oh, excuse me. I'm sorry. Oh, it's my pleasure. Believe me. May you find the knowledge you seek. Let me just choke on nothing for a minute. Shall we? Oh, gosh, do I have to do the research with her? I thought she was just gonna go off and do the research and maybe we would talk to, like, some people. You know? I wanna go fight more shit. I don't wanna do research. That's for nerds. Oh, that's right. These things are just called index page and reference page. Gotcha. Take me to the knowledge! That's a lot of books.
If House Damir's notes are to be found anywhere, it will be here. Let us begin.
Alright. Let us go. Find some books. Wait, do they really not have it organized? Shouldn't one of these little dudes be able to tell us exactly where the book is? I mean... Just saying, I feel like... If this is super restricted knowledge, maybe you guys should organize catalog, you know, any of that kind of stuff. That's not it. Maybe this one? Have they heard of the Dewey Decimal System? Exactly! They're supposed to be super, like, knowledge-based people. You'd think they would come up with a way to catalog their knowledge intelligently. 1564, 6th Astral Era, the Almaj summoned Ifrit. This probably isn't what we're looking for. Yada yada yada. This is not what I'm looking for. There we are, House of Damir. The following pages detail an advanced method for manipulating root-spanning apertures as devised by Nushanasha, the 9th Patriarch of House Damir. We present these research notes to the faculty of the Charlian's Studium as both a token of our friendship and an expression of our boundless admiration. Here you go, lady. I found it. Have something you'd like to show me, do you? My apologies, I flipped open but a single book and was completely absorbed by the contents. Well, good thing you brought me. Here's the one you want. Please study it quickly. I want to go fight shit. Well done. I think you may have found our prize. I want to go shoot things with arrows. Send me at him, coach.
Yes, The ether signature is unmistakable. I've felt the traces of House Damia's resonance many times at the Great Work. Time to see what all the fuss was about. Among the ranks of the Void Sent, there exist entities with the power to call forth their brethren from beyond. The species known as Atomos, however, is uniquely prodigious in this regard. From its distended maw, it can expel an endless procession of void-born
What
creatures.
Cthulian shit is
a
that?
talent which sorely tested the Radiant Host in its battles against these abominations.
I mean, shit.
Surmising that the entity itself was acting
Dialogue is
as
giving
a
me
void
Game of
gift,
Thrones vibes.
we endeavored to capture
Have you
a
seen
small
House of Dragons
specimen
yet?
and
No,
subsequently
I'm not
examine
gonna watch
its
House of Dragon.
physiological
I
structure.
watched like the first 3 seasons, or like 5 seasons of Game of Thrones. I couldn't finish Game of Thrones. I loved the books, but the TV show I wasn't
Our
that
findings revealed
that
the
into
Atomos
after a
had
while.
absorbed a planar
I just
fissure
fell off it
into
really
its
hard.
own flesh, which it could expand at will into a functioning
And
being.
then everyone was like hated the ending of Game of Thrones, so I was like, well, I might as well not go back and finish it, because I was gonna go back and finish it. I just kind of like, you know, got busy and didn't keep up on it for a while.
Upon further analysis,
And then
we
everyone was like, "Oh, the
identified an
ending sucked," and I
ethereal
was like,
wave pattern
"Okay."
emitted during this process. A pattern we were able to emulate by passing crystal-stored ether through a specially designed prism. We proceeded to embed said prism into an arcane simulacrum, thus completing what we have dubbed our artificial Atomos. How could I have been so blind to the possibilities? This species, not to mention its ability to summon Void Scent, has been discussed among academics for years now. Just before the advent of the 7th Umbral Calamity, we received reports of Atomos sightings from every corner of Eorzea. Surely you've at least heard the tales. And still, House Damia went and built a mock Atomos of their very own. I'm not surprised the Archons consigned their work to a restricted archive. It was no easy task, but at last we've unearthed the volume we've been searching for.
Yeah, people were big mad. I watched it way after it ended. I get it. Probably would be mad too if I read the books. Yeah, I love the books. The books are great.
I'd be lying if I said I wasn't tempted to stay longer. See what other forbidden titles might be lurking on these shelves. Ah, but that would be abusing the very special privilege we've been granted now, wouldn't it? Better not.
Aww. Istola, I'd let you read whatever you wanted to in here. I wouldn't tell nobody. As much as I would love to start crafting the Atomos, I'm afraid this is far outside my field of expertise. Fortunately, we know a Hainish alchemist who would be delighted to involve herself in our House Damir projects. Our business here is concluded for the moment. Please pass our regards to the forum. Your message will be conveyed. Should you wish to indulge in more forbidden literature, I will be here. Patron mode disabled. Security mode engaged. If anyone can help us, Nidhana can. I say we return to Thavnir and look for her at the Great Work. Goob. Oh yeah, that's my my like guild, my free company. There, goobs. Estrella tells me you're pursuing a most fascinating study and that you want me to be part of it. Hey, I have no doubt you'll be interested. This research log should speak for itself. Will it now? By the sisters, this is the mark of House Damir. Never even knew such work existed. Few should. It was sequestered in a Newman's research archives, after all. It was, but that means every word within is forbidden knowledge, a forbidden tome filled with forbidden research, and you put it right into my unsuspecting hand? I can hardly wait to read it. I love her. To think the Daymere were developing such wow, what is wrong with me? Why can't I read words? To think the Daymere were developing such marvelous techniques so long ago. How many innovations have been lost over the centuries, I wonder? Now that you've glanced over the notes, what say you to helping us build a new mock Atomos? I say yes. 1,000 times yes. Work on a Daymere project that had even the redoubtable scholars of the Charlean trembling in their sandals. I don't understand. Redoubtable scholars of Charlean trembling in their sandals. Okay. No alchemist of the great work could resist. You're a woman after my own heart. Oh, I suppose I should ask. What do you mean to do with this big mouse simulacrum? I don't know why I can't say that word once we've built it. Simulacrum. So, there's a secret void gate, and it's sealed in the ruins at the bottom of the bounty. Today is a day of revelations indeed. If the purpose of our man-made Atomus is to expand this hidden portal, then I will need to see it for myself, I think. Manipulating rift-spanning apertures is not the sort of thing you would want to attempt without first taking into account every single factor. Then, by all means, accompany us to the vault. I plan to lead us back there shortly, once we've finished gathering the components I require. Charlean's markets provided the raw aquamarine and pure water crystals, but I might need help attaining a small quantity of astrally infused water. That was a stretch of a word. Astrally? For such a liquid, you need go no further than the font of Maya. The aesthetics of old once favored the place for their... God damn it. My brain just, like, gave up halfway through that sentence. Once favored the place for their mediations, and the water which pools there now is known to enliven the flow of aether. Meditations? Was that meditations or mediations? My brain gave up at that word for some reason. It's okay. We're just gonna scooch past that. That sounds perfect. We shall be about it then. Meet you back here and on? Yeah. Let's go. Let's get to the fighting. Oops, that's not my... Where's my... There we go. Flying mist. Okay, let's fly over here and let's take a quick little break. Did you say lookout point? I think I did. Very impressed with whoever writes this dialogue. Very fancy. Too fancy, but fancy nonetheless. Well, it's very, like... There's just so much of it that, because, like, all the people... Like, we're talking to all these, like, scientisty types and stuff, but also all their science is, like, made-up science. So they have to, like, be very creative with how they describe it, because it's all stuff that, like, astral energy and stuff like that is all, like, how it's based on, and it's not, like, stuff that's real for us. You know, so they have to be very flourishy with their words to describe all these things. And when you get into, like, Ishtola and Arranger and, you know, the more science-y people, they tend to speak... I mean, also, a lot of the characters have their own voice. Like, Urianger... keep calling him Urianger, but... Anyways, Urianger, speaks very, very, like... Shakespearean, I guess, maybe would be a good word. But they, like, try and give every major character that pretty much their own voice and how they talk. So there are some characters who don't talk with as much flourish to it, but Ishtola is supposed to be a scientist and a scholar, so she talks with a lot of, like, scientific words, but kind of scientific in their world words. Probably fun to come up with these terms and names. Yeah. I'm sure it is for someone. This is the stuff that's bonkers to me, because I don't even understand so much of how... And they describe it in this game, too. There's lots of parts where they describe, like, how astral energy works and how, like, the worlds were torn asunder and all this stuff. Every time I'm just like, huh? I'm too dumb for how much someone else thought this through. I'm like, I can't follow it. I don't know. Okay, anyways, I'm gonna just take a real short break. Get up, stretch, get water, everyone. Okay. We is back. So when we finish up with the 6.1 quests, which we have this quest and then 2 after, I'll probably wrap it up. Stream, I mean. Wow, that was it? I just came all the way over here to do that? Okay. I should probably talk to my FC more often. I never talk to them. They're nice people. Do you have that flask for me? Yeah. Yes, this should suffice. Thank you, Alexiel. What do I have already? No? I think we have some of these in my other thing. Yeah, let's do quick arm. Look who I came across. The studium seemed in need of diversion, and we in turn may have need of his lance. Right then. Now that our little party is assembled, let us make our way to the ruins. I'm gonna take my headphones off for a bit. They're actually killing my head. My ears are hurting. Will we have need of Matsuya's boat again? Not this time. Once Ishtola informed me of our destination, I arranged for a vessel to be made ready at Alexialrae. Your Excellency is ever the gracious host. Shall we? bum, 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 bum. Let's go. I heard. Let's go. Oh, also, so I'm working on doing a theme of games for September. I'm going to figure out how to play, I'm going to do an older series, a spooky series, but all the month of September we're going to be doing something special. Once I figure out if I can actually play, which ones I can play, I'll announce what my plan is. But I need to do some more research onto like how to get some of the games because they're old. The ship is yours to command. Our things. We set sail at once. Oh, this is so exciting. Alzadal's legacy, to see the truth of a legend with mine own eyes. All aboard for the treasure vault. Proceed? Sure. Very cool. Well, I don't know. I feel like there's a lot of games that I want to play on stream. But lately, I just haven't been in the mood for some stuff. I don't know. I feel like I'm in a weird game rut right now where, I mean, I'm super enjoying getting back into Final Fantasy 14, but a lot of games that I'm playing off stream. Just out of, like, they're more like for fun, enjoyable, like relaxed games.
Ruins alone were impressive enough.
So
But I never dreamed such a treasure lay hidden
oh, is
in
this
the
voiced?
depths of
Is
the
this being
bounty.
voiced?
It may have
Yeah.
been helpful to know this device existed, Your Excellency.
My apologies. The gate was a secret I shared with none but my closest advisors. I feared for what might happen should those with ill intentions learn of its existence.
What is it you're doing now?
There's something I wish to verify. The NOAA reports claim that a short stint into the void carries little risk of etheric imbalance. Should one suffer an injury, however, or if one's expedition drags on longer than intended, that risk becomes significantly greater. Graha theorized that a warding scale would confer protection from the void's corrupting influence. But I would prefer to test that hypothesis before we set foot in the 13th ourselves.
Fair enough.
So, this is an experiment of sorts.
Yes, an experiment. Tell me, how would you go about testing the efficacy of the warding scale?
Dude, just strap it on me and I'll go. Look meaningfully at Destinian. Maybe send a familiar. That actually sounds like the way that you would test that.
Very good. I see you've been paying attention.
No, that just seems logical.
As Vritra sent his simulacrum, so too shall we rely on a familiar to bear the brunt of any unpleasant consequences.
Simulacrum is how she says it. Of course, she's British though, so they always go eh with their A.
Now, a lowly imp can navigate a fissure, no matter how narrow. Which means an arcane entity of similar stature should be able to manage the same. I hadn't wanted it to come to this, but no other familiars will do, I'm afraid.
I mislike the sound of that. What manner of fiend does she mean to summon?
From ocean rise and cloudbank form, from mountain spring and rainfall storm, from river flow and life be born.
Yeah-oh.
Water, water, froth and fire!
Is it a porksy? Or a toad? Oh, just a water bubble. Okay.
Ready your arms. I fear she's been possessed.
Justinian, you're funny.
Come now, that was adorable.
Nixies.
Though not my first choice. These familiars I conceived of as a child have the best chance of fitting through the gate. I only wish my younger self had considered a more dignified ending to the creation ritual. In any case, these two should serve as well. This one will bear a warding scale.
I do love the Montoya magic music, the do 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 do.
And when they return from the 13th, we can observe how the talisman, or absence thereof, has affected the progress of the Void's corruption. If I could impose upon you to open the gate. Your Excellency?
Ah, yes, of course.
We should also be wary of void scent slipping through while we conduct our experiment. Estinian, you are to keep Nidana safe from harm.
As you say.
You had best be on your guard as well.
I always am.
And we are glad for it.
I just always want to fight something.
Let us begin.
Let me
shall
at
we?
him.
Nixies, into the void.
Am I gonna get to fight something while they're in there? Let me
I think we've waited long enough. Nixies, return to my side.
Uh-oh. That one looks corrupted. Yeah, that doesn't look so good. Uh-oh.
Thank you, little one. You did well.
Poor thing. Its essence has been irrevocably warped.
Okay, why don't we close the gate when they came back through? Like, we should have closed it immediately. Now the butthole's getting angry.
out of time. I must reseal the void gate.
Yeah, plug it up. Rip.
They're coming through!
In the name of Alzidal III, I bar this door unto the void.
Aw, I was hoping that something would come through so that I could fight something. Well, poop.
Well, that was a sharp lesson in the dangers of void gates.
And what of our experiment? I'd say the results speak for themselves.
The
Well.
unprotected Nixie has suffered extensive etheric corruption. As Nidana observed, it's well on its way to becoming a void scent. The one merged with the talisman, however, appears unaffected. I sense no changes to its equilibrium.
Well, so I guess we proved our theory.
Rest now, little ones.
I mean, that was kind of what we were expecting, right?
Graha's theory was correct then.
So it would seem. But while our second familiar was untouched by void energies, the talisman itself shows signs of degradation. It was, of course, originally designed to shield the soul from primal tempering. It stands to reason that etheric corruption of a different sort would affect it differently.
Okay, so we just need either more or
Maybe
to not stay in
modify
there
the
for too
warding
long.
Scale's designed to account for the 13th's uniquely unstable ether.
You've said much of the Void's instability, but my imagination fails me. What manner of place is this broken world?
Ah, my apologies. I forget that not all of us spend our days sequestered in dusty archives. The 13th is a reflection of the source that was drowned in a flood of darkness. In Emmett Selk's own words, this tragedy was a result of the Ascians' attempts to force a rejoining. They erred in their haste, and made of that world a useless void. You remember Unakalhai, the unusual child we met during our troubles with the Warring Triad. He explained the fate of the 13th thus. The champions of that ill-fated world used the stone known as Auracite to contain the power of primals, but those self-same heroes were gradually corrupted by the Auracite's bleeding energies, transforming into fiends with an endless hunger for ether. By the time anyone thought to oppose them, Light's strength had grown too feeble, and the balance of the 13th tipped into eternal darkness.
Which sucks for them.
And what of your own experience? Will you tell us of what you observed during Noah's expedition?
Yeah, pretty much what you said. It's just lots of darkness, fiends that are evil, you know. Lots of purple, glowy
picture
particle
it now.
effects.
The sunless Stygian expanse, infested with legions of ether-starved monstrosities.
Yep, those are the
Avoid in
beautiful words
every
that I
sense of
used.
the word.
That's totally how I described it.
What you have described in such lurid detail is exactly why I hesitate to encourage you.
Yeah, but I mean, I got this. It's all
Worry
good.
not, great Vritra. Our journey into the 13th is but the first leg of a longer voyage.
10 out of 10.
A voyage that shall lead us to other reflections, to new mysteries and discoveries. And I mean to be there every step of the way. But first, I must focus on refining the warding talisman.
Yep, let's get to that.
Then I can begin work on constructing an artificial Atomos.
Yep, you get to that.
Or I could if I had the relevant manuals to hand. Might I be so bold as to request access to the Satrap's family archives? Your Excellency?
Hmm? Oh, yes. That can be arranged. I will speak to my officials upon our return.
We will see you back in the city then.
Oh. Yes. Now send me into the void. Bum 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 bum. Once Nidana succeeds in replicating the Mach Atomus, this door into the 13th will be ours to open. Will you be crushing to the threshold alongside us? I realize this is more my endeavor than yours. To be honest, I've no interest in visiting the void myself. Might we discuss this later? There is something I must do first. Okay. Why does everyone insist on being so secretive? I at least had good reason for not wanting to explain my Nixie ritual. Shall we proceed with our preparations, then? As we saw, the warding scale can be effective at protecting the bearer from other sources of etheric corruption. Nevertheless, the talisman's durability will need to be improved if it is to withstand the void's influence for a prolonged length of time. And I think that is a problem we can address without involving the brilliant but busy alchemists who created it. Who do we know that excels at this kind of structural augmentation? The Alligans? Ironworks? The Alligans. Sure, why not? Perhaps they once did, but availing ourselves of Allegan insights tends to be an involved process in and of itself. Nay, I believe a more straightforward approach is in order, consulting with the engineers of Garlean Ironworks. Damn it! As I recall, Sid himself is no stranger to the void and its volatile energies. With his experienced hand at the helm, I have every confidence that the Ironworks can strengthen the warding skill. Come, let us visit their operation in Ralgar's Reach and commission their best and brightest. Let's go. I would like to unlock raids. Please. Oh wow, it just really took me here. They were like, oh, were you planning on doing other stuff here first? Nope. Alexial, what brings you to the Ironworks? We have a commission for you and your president, actually, assuming he's available. Master Sid? Certainly. I'll see if he has a moment free. Sup, Sidorino? City Sid son? Pleasure as always. I hear you have a job for us? Of course, my favorite white-haired daddy. Heading into the void to find a lost dragon? That sounds almost pedestrian compared to your last adventure. Honestly, I don't know if you could say anything that would surprise me after Medion and that bloody mess. Alright, let's take a look at this talisman of yours. You said there were signs of degradation? Well, I mean, the blind girl said there were signs of degradation. It seems some manner of corrosion has set in around a scratch on its surface. much as the void corruption seeped into Nero through his wounds. In which case, our best bet may be to simply prevent the scale from being damaged in the first place. And how might we achieve that? We have a coding agent for strengthening trinkets and the like, but I'd be wary of applying any compound which might upset the scale's delicate alchemical balance. Far safer to dress it in armor. We'll construct a protective casing, one utilizing metal alloys with high etherical conductivity so as not to impede the talisman's primary function. A suit of armor, as you said. Nero has compiled data on the 13th, so I'll have him pitch in with the design just to be sure. If only it weren't such an ordeal to convince him to follow our safety protocols. I swear I've never had such a reckless employee. In any case, we may need some time to untangle the particulars. Understandable. We know how busy your schedule is, and the final result will be doubtless worth the wait. Ha, the hard part will be ducking Jessie and her constant barrage of demands while we sneak about doing the fun stuff. We'll see what we can do. So Sid is Richard Branson, right? I don't really know. I don't know about that. I mean, Sid is just always the either like captain guy, the tech guy. He's usually like the airship pirate. He's like in every Final Fantasy game there's a Sid. Usually just like very piratey. I think we can leave the rest in Sid's capable hands. Let's return to the great work and see how Nidhana is getting on with the mock Adamus. See, like, Sid is a good guy, though. Also. Like, not some billionaire asshole. And usually is a mechanic. I just meant, he looked like the Virgin Mobile guy. I guess, although Sid looks a lot younger. Like, his face isn't as fucked up. I mean, I know who Richard Branson is. I'm saying that Sid is very not like Richard Branson in a lot of ways.
Ah, hey, Stola. The adjustments are going well, I hope?
'Tis a lengthy process, but the end is in sight, yes.
That's wonderful news. I myself had some good fortune searching through the Satrap's private records. What I found was a transaction log dated around the same period as when Alzadal's legacy was built. It included a purchase list of highly exclusive alchemical components, and I knew I'd discovered the key to making the artificial atomos.
Yay!
I then visited the High Crucible to commission the materials. After I'd explained my requirements, I was beset by volunteers insisting I allow them to help with the entire project.
The usual reaction to someone forcing open a void gate is to run for the hills. Harnish academics certainly are a different breed.
The alchemists of old were cut from a similar cloth. The unknown held no fear for them. Indeed, they were ever eager to seek new knowledge, regardless of the danger.
And were you not also fearless, heedless even, in your determination?
My sire entered his dormancy before I was hatched. And so it was Ashdaya who kept my eggs safe and warm. It created a bond between us. Even long after I learned to fend for myself, I rarely strayed from her side. She was my guardian, my sister, my dear companion. And not a single day passes that I do not mourn her absence, no matter how deep the darkness. I would not surrender my search. I promised myself the time would come when we would once more take to the skies together.
Okay, and we're gonna try and go and find her in the void, and you've been nothing but, like, broody.
But
Just
I
saying.
am satrap now.
Let us go search for her.
The Host is here to serve, Your Excellency.
Nabdeen.
Sir Estinian told us of your predicament. For centuries you have protected Rads at Han, never showing your true self, hiding behind a curtain and living only in service to the people. Your dedication meant more to us than your dissent.
This guy's face looks
So
really
did we
bad.
accept you as our rightful ruler. After all that you have sacrificed for this nation, did you imagine we would begrudge you your heart's desire? We survived the final days. We are a strong and proud people. We, the Radiant Host, will keep Thavnair safe in your absence.
I am grateful for your loyalty and for your encouragement. And yet...
Now you listen to me, Varshan.
Yeah, stop being so fucking brooding. Jeez.
You are wearing that face, after all. As I have told you before, you are a little brother to us all. And if you are family, then so too is your sister. We are there for you if you need us. But do not ask us to sit by and watch while you abandon a sibling you have ached to rescue for millennia.
Also, like, your place is fine without you for 2 days or whatever. Promise you, it won't take us long to get your sister back. I'm not trying to get my monster.
We will succeed in opening the way. It is only a matter of time. All you need do is prepare to step through to the other side.
Your Excellency, I wanted to thank you for building the orphanage. It means so much that
Oh wow,
my
that got
sister
built
and
real
I will
fast.
have a place to be together, safe and happy. And I hope that you and your sister can be together again too.
Will you wallow in uncertainty forever? Yeah, that's, he's annoying me with this shit. Let's just fucking
You're
go
saying I should seize this
do shit.
chance.
I mean, I'm going with or without you.
Take heart and protect them well. Such were the words I once said to you. And here I stand, failing to live up to them. If my heart is torn, I am fit to protect neither Ajdaya nor Radzathan. My people, I have come to a decision. Vashan will depart Thavnair for a time. My dragon self will remain in the palace, but only to conduct the satrap's most essential duties. While I am focused on controlling this vessel, there may be matters that escape my attention. I rely on you, my trusted friends, to watch over one another until I return.
Take care and fair fortune, little brother. Many tears would be shed should you come to harm.
Oh, he'll be fine. He's in my care. I got this.
Dare make you cry.
Again, we were going either way. You surprise me, Estinian. For a lone wolf, you've shown an unusual degree of, shall we say, involvement in helping Vitra reach this conclusion. 'Twas for the greater good. The worm's thundering sighs were keeping his citizens awake at night, and had travelers believing the palace racked by some unnatural storm. And what of your own answer, then? You seem declined to venture into the void. When I was one with Needhog, his vengeful thoughts were my thoughts, his endless rage my rage, and the soul-chilling grief he nursed for Radatoskur's death. Dragon names are also very hard in this game. I would not wish such agony upon a foe, let alone a friend and an ally. If there is a chance we can spare Vitra that pain, then I will follow you. Any other former scions we should call in? I'd rather not bother our comrades with aught less than a dire threat to the star. We four should be sufficient for our purpose. Now on to specifics. Unlike the first, where the flood of light was halted before its devastation was complete, the 13th has been utterly subsumed by darkness. My plan as such is to explore the void in stages, withdrawing to safety after each brief foray. 'Twould be more convenient had we some manner of base camp nearer to the gate itself. One of the palace chambers should serve. Come, let us reconvene outside Madagaduta. Ah, so each of these small forays into the void is going to be each of our raid fights. Over there, gotcha. Now, is there any of these other ones that I'm missing, or I don't know. And so, we will require suitable accommodations. Might we make something available for our guests? All the chambers are presently hosting the great mounds of treasure we carried out of the vault. Once the Foundation's activities begin in earnest, however, we can redistribute the trove and make a room or two ready for habitation. Good. Please inform me when you've completed the arrangements. Well, I have an idea. What if we just take the treasure somewhere else? Like maybe my bank. As you heard, we will have you settled in Megaduda in due time. As ever, you're most gracious, Your Excellency. You risk yourselves to aid me in my search for Azdaja. Providing comfortable quarters is the least I can do. I only wish we knew more about our destination. The gods only know how long our explorations might possibly take or what chances of success might possibly be. Succeed or fail, I'm grateful to you for convincing me to make the attempt. On that note, I will return to the great work and lend what help I can to Nitana. If you've preparations to make ere we venture into the 13th, now is the time. All I need is my armor and my lance. Perhaps I'll train with the Radiant Host to pass the time before we depart. You know what this means to me, Alexiel, but my purpose need not consume you as well. We are headed to another world. Find what joy you can in the experience, for you are a traveler, an adventurer at heart. This I know. Okay. Let me into the first raid fight. I'm ready. I mean, I'm not really ready. I have no idea what I'm doing. I mean, there's some of these that most of the raid battles I usually look up before I hop in, but I think we'll go in dry. just because we took a little bit longer than I thought we would to get to this point, so. Who are you? Are you who I think you are? Oh my god. What is going on with the hands over your eyes thing? That's fucking okay.
And thus I am returned.
Is this you again? Is this, what's his face?
To this world, bereft of saviors.
What an awesome design, though. Have to say. Okay, so that was the end? Yeah. Yeah, that was the end of those, quests. They don't even make you hop into the first raid with that? I guess the first raid isn't part of that. Well, okay. I guess it's not. Oh, fuck off. There we go. Yeah, because this starts the 6.2 quests. Well... Okay, I don't really want to start the next quest line. I was hoping to still do the, you know, I wanted to do a raid, but that's okay. A raid boss. But we did not yet unlock those. I really thought that the first expansion would unlock one. Well, or the first patch, sorry. First patch. But I guess 6.2 unlocked one, not 6.1. Anywho, I think we're gonna end for tonight, cause oh, I'm tired and I will go have my Saturday night, you know, do Saturday night type stuff. Watch movies, drink beers.